since we've been talking about the fruit, the talents, will I say the talent series, the up series. Yeah, and I'll just be sharing some of the things that came to mind. But first, I'll start with an analogy, and then we'll just go. So, sorry, I'm not used to it. Thanks, sir. All right, so imagine there is water in a bottle, and then you pour the water in a glass cup, a transparent glass cup. Is it the same water that we have in the cup? Like, does the water become dirty? Again, the water is clear, it's crystal clear. It is unadulterated. It is very clean. And then you pour it into a glass cup. Does it make it less of the content in the glass cup? Oh, sorry, less of the content in the bottle, rather. No, it's still the same thing. Okay. And I'll say that imagine God pouring himself into us. And that is how much of God we are. Back to the story of the talents. You know, yesterday, I think it was, I can't remember, but one of the things that struck me was how that, it says that, and the master gave to each servant according to his ability. And I was wondering, that means that the servant could actually do something. His ability was one. Now, if the servant okay, so, like, why didn't you just, like, you know him. He's probably a lazy servant. He probably already knows that this guy is not going to do much. But then he wanted him to see something that he himself could not see. I'd say that maybe the response of the servant to the master was one of, but sir, you know I'm afraid. You know I'm scared. You know I can't do it. You know that if you give me, I'll most likely fail. So why did you give me? I'd rather go and hide it. And so maybe he was saying that you are wicked because you know I'll fail, but you wanted to see me fail, Shebi. You know that these other ones can do. And one of the things that, that's what I'm saying, that is more of the things that I've been meditating on. How that pastor in one of the it begs the question, because most times we say, what if I fail? But then what if you fly? I guess that was what this master was telling the servant, that I believe in you too much, that you can actually put this to use. But the servant just kept on saying, you are just wicked, Phil. You wanted people to laugh at me. And I feel like that's how most of us are. Like, more often than not, we'd rather not try because we think people will laugh at me. So it's not even a question of, maybe I know I can do this or not, but some people are already doing it. They're probably good at it. Like, see yourself do more. Again, go back to the story of the bottle and the cup, the water in the bottle and the cup. God gives good gifts. The master is not wicked, again. He believes you can do it, and so you have to push yourself. This brings me to Romans 8, that says that the earnest expectation of creature awaits the manifestation of sons. As sons, we have to do, because the Father has poured in us. And one of the activator of all that the Father has poured in us is the Holy Spirit. So I'll be sharing from, very quickly, I'll just be reading from 1 Corinthians 2, verse 10. 1 Corinthians 2, verse 10. So I'll just read, and then if they can help us project, it will help so that people can follow. But God hath revealed them unto us by his Spirit. For the Spirit searches all things, yea, the deep things of God. For what man knows the things of a man, save the spirit of man which is in him? Even so the things of God knoweth no man, but the Spirit of God. Now we have received not the spirit of the world, but the Spirit which is of God, that we might know the things that are freely given to us of God. So the Holy Spirit that is given to us is for us to know the things that are freely given to us of God, because we probably do not even see it. We probably do not even think that we can do it. And it's the Holy Spirit that kind of brings our consciousness to it. So right about now, we'll be rising to our feet and we'll just be praying. Philemon 1:6 says that the communication of your faith might be made effectual by the acknowledging of every good thing that is in you. And so we are just praying with this consciousness that the Holy Spirit that is in me knows the things of God that is deposited in me. And so by praying, by communicating, by acknowledging the things that are in us, we are able to see, to key into the deeper things of God. It's just more or less like a sober reflection. Like, let us just acknowledge that the Holy Spirit that we have in us is not just for speaking in tongues, but it's to reveal the deep things of God. It's the Holy Spirit that gives boldness to be able to do, boldness to step out in faith and not to be afraid, the ability to be able to say, I can do this, and you are being backed by the Holy One, because you know that God gives good gifts. God gives good gifts. He says that as He is, are we. As He is, so are we. Our lives should actually reflect that the Father has deposited in us. We should not be any less. We should not be any less. The end goal is that souls are being transformed. The end goal is that souls are changed. The end goal is that we reach out to souls, because the word of boldness